A world without predators. It sounds like a lovely idea, doesn't it? All the prey animals free to live happily ever after. But science tells us this utopia would be a disaster. To prove it, we would need a colossal experiment. Luckily, history gave us one by accident in Venezuela. In the 70s, the construction of the Guri Dam changed everything. It created Lake Guri, one of the world's largest artificial lakes. The flooding turned the hilltops into isolated islands. Each island became a trap with a sample of the local wildlife. But the small islands couldn't support the large predators like jaguars and harpy eagles. And so, a perfect accidental experiment was created. When scientists returned years later, what they found was shocking. The howler monkey population was up to 50 times greater on predator-free islands. These monkeys are voracious herbivores, eating a bit of everything. Rodents also multiplied, with a density 35 times higher. They not only eat seeds, but also destroy small plants. But the leafcutter ants were the biggest surprise, 100 times denser. These ants create virtual deserts around them, clearing out vegetation. With so many herbivores and insects, the base of the food pyramid began to crumble. Tree saplings, the future of the forest, were almost completely decimated. Without plants to die and decompose, the soil lost its nutrients. What was once a vibrant forest became a tangled green desert. This is called a trophic cascade. Removing the top causes everything below to collapse. We saw the same thing in Yellowstone when wolves were eradicated. The elk overpopulated and devastated the willows, affecting the entire river ecosystem. Or in the Aleutian Islands, where hunting sea otters led to an explosion of sea urchins. These hungry urchins destroyed the kelp forests, a vital habitat for many species. In California, removing predatory sea stars allowed mussels to dominate everything. The story repeats itself. Without predators, the ecosystem loses diversity and balance. So, utopia isn't the absence of danger, but the presence of balance. Predators are not the villains of nature's story. They are the engineers, the regulators, the unseen kings and queens. They are the keystone that keeps utopia from becoming a complete nightmare. Without them, the whole machine breaks down. So, the next time you think of a predator, thank it for keeping the world green. The internet is one of humanity's most incredible inventions. But it began as a quiet, one-way street of information. This was Web 1, built on open, foundational rules for communication. Information was presented, but you couldn't really interact with it. Content was created by a few and consumed by the many. Then a fundamental shift happened. The web became interactive. Welcome to Web 2, the social, user-generated internet. Instead of open protocols, giant platforms became the new hubs. We created the content, but they owned the digital space. Our data became the product that powered their business models. This centralization created single points of failure and control. Your digital identity and assets were locked into these walled gardens. The open web was still there, but hidden beneath layers of control. So, this led to a new question. Could we rebuild the internet? The foundation for this idea is a technology called the blockchain. It's a way to store data that isn't owned by any single person. Instead, it's shared and validated by a network of users. In this new web, often called Web 3, your identity is your own. You can move your data and assets freely, without permission. The network doesn't just store data, it can run programs. These are called smart contracts, agreements that execute automatically. This allows for applications that are not run by companies. You can even have true, verifiable ownership of digital items. Organizations themselves can be run by code and community voting. The goal is an internet owned by its builders and users. But this new web is still very young and experimental. It can be slow, expensive, and difficult to use. And securing some blockchains consumes enormous amounts of energy. It's a grand vision, but the technology is still maturing. So, where does this leave us? We are at a digital crossroads. Web 2 offers convenience, but with centralization and control. Web 3 promises ownership, but with complexity and new risks. The future likely isn't a replacement, but an evolution. A new layer of the internet, built on ownership and decentralization. It's an ambitious experiment to reshape our digital world, and to redefine what it means to connect, create, and own. The journey of the internet started with a single, simple connection. Web 1 was the read-only web, a digital library of static pages. Web 2 brought us the interactive web, dominated by social platforms. We created the content, but the platforms controlled our data. Web 3 aims to be a user-owned web, built on decentralization. Your identity and assets are controlled by you, using a wallet. Smart contracts enable applications that run without intermediaries. This allows for true ownership of digital items like art and collectibles. However, the technology is still young, complex, and evolving. It's a bold experiment to build a more open digital future. The internet is constantly evolving, from simple pages to complex worlds. At its heart, the first web was decentralized by design. Web 2 saw a shift towards centralization for user convenience. Web 3 is an attempt to return to that decentralized ethos. The core idea is simple: you should own your own data. This shifts value away from intermediaries back to creators and users. It's about building a digital life on a foundation you control. But this new world has its own challenges, like security and exploits. The user experience is often a major hurdle for new people. Improving this is one of the biggest challenges for builders today. Our current digital world is mapped by a few powerful empires. Web3 is not about overthrowing them, but offering an alternative. A future where centralization and decentralization can coexist. It's a change in direction, guided by a different set of principles. The beauty of open systems is permissionless innovation. Anyone can build on top of what others have built before. This concept of money Legos allows for rapid experimentation. It's important to remember how early we are in this transition. Much of what Web3 will become has not even been invented yet. It's less of a destination and more of a conversation about trade-offs between convenience and control, and about what kind of digital world we want to build together. The evolution of the web is a story of expanding possibilities, from reading to writing to owning. A simple, powerful progression. Web 1 was built on open protocols, available for anyone to use. Web 2 built walled gardens on top of this open foundation. Web 3 provides a universal key for a more interoperable web. It's about owning your digital reflection, your online identity. Centralized platforms give you tools, but within their rules. Decentralized networks give you primitives to build your own rules. This represents a fundamental shift from trusting people to trusting math. Centralization can be efficient, but it's also fragile. Decentralization can be messy, but it's incredibly resilient. It's a new model for power and coordination on the internet. The ability to create autonomous, trustworthy systems is powerful, but the applications and use cases are still being discovered. This technology is inherently global and censorship-resistant. This creates complex new questions for governance and law. It is crucial to separate financial speculation from the technology. Beneath the hype, a fundamental technological shift is underway. We have a new set of tools to imagine different digital futures. The story of the web is still being written every single day. The idea of a portable, universal identity is a powerful one. It enables true peer-to-peer interactions without trusted intermediaries. But navigating this new landscape requires new knowledge and skills. The freedom of self-custody comes with great personal responsibility. Like any powerful tool, it can be used for good or for ill. Its promise lies in enabling new forms of human collaboration. It's another chapter in our species' long journey of communication. Ultimately, this is a debate about ownership and power online. Should it belong to a few platforms, or to all of us? The next era of the web has not yet been defined. It's a work in progress, being built right now, and we all have a chance to participate in its creation. This video is a collaboration with our friends and you, our viewers. Thanks for watching.